Welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that comes out of the crapshoot. I'm your host, JD. This is my co-host,
James.
No
last
the missing
name.
child, James. I call him James. Everyone else calls him Jimmy. It just works like that. And a lot of things have happened this week.
Yeah, boy.
You ready to talk about the the bite of 87? James?
Hey, man.
Are you hearing me, or?
No, did you say something?
I feel like your mental has gone down the drain recently, these past few weeks. I'm not sure if it's the avid usage of TikTok, or it's the fact that you can't focus on anyone's words without what was that game? Subway Surfers playing in they're holding their phone playing a clip of Subway Surfers. But anyway, the FNAF movie, we watched it.
We did? I only remember us drinking the mystery Fanta and then I blacked out. I don't remember what happened after that.
Yeah, and it was an experience, you know.
It happened.
It did happen. I hope you had time to stew on it. To think about how the movie made you feel.
Yeah,
and this is going to be a spoiler. You know, if you haven't watched the movie,
I liked it.
If you haven't watched the movie, you should.
It was a good movie.
You should watch it on the. Watch on wherever you can. I'm pretty sure it's on streaming services.
Peacock, and it's streaming on Peacock, and then you can watch it in movie theaters.
Yeah, and we watched it in theaters. Opening night from where we were. So
yeah, technically, we could have seen it the day before.
Yeah,
but that was a very specific thing, and I didn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, though, let's talk about the movie. So
let's.
How was it, James? Just overall feelings toward it?
I fucking hated it. It was terrible.
Yeah, James. For me, I
remember turning to you vividly, and I out loud said, "Only an hour," and I yelled, "Is it over yet?"
I remember you vividly turning to me when a kid in the back said out loud, "Was that the bite of 87?" And you stared at me with the most dead eyes I've ever seen, with the least amount of movement in your face that could possibly be possible.
I don't remember that, but I believe that because I was very annoyed by that kid when he said it. Because it was.
Wait, so you don't remember what your face was like?
No, but I do.
No, but it was the most like unamused. It was the most like damn, bro, you got the whole boys laughing.
Nobody in the theater made a noise. And here's the thing, it was just so like boring. Like the way he like stumbled when he was saying it. He was like, damn, it's like, that
he hesitated. He hesitated to
87?
like think like, should I just like yell this out? So instead of like yelling it out, he kind of just like said it in a louder tone than what he would normally say it in, but it wasn't like super loud or anything.
No, and he had like a kind of
so like squeaky was that the
voice.
Bite of 87?
He talked like this.
Was that the bite of 87?
The bite of 87?
Come on, James, you can't blame him. It's just a kid. Just a
and then I
funny kid who likes FNAF, which is the main fan base, and you are a kid also because you like that FNAF. Anyway,
I turned to you and I said, grab him by the feet and swing him against the wall.
Blumhouse. Were they the ones who made this?
Blumhouse. They're the production studio for it, yeah.
They did a good job, I think.
They did.
With at least the designs was pretty good.
The people that did that is the Jim Henson Workshop, aka the people that make Sesame Street.
Very nice. I think they nailed it. It looks pretty much exactly like how the animatronics looked in FNAF 1. And
Elmo and Freddy Fazbear were made by the same people.
Elmo being the let's talk about numbers or whatever, and then FNAF, and then Freddy being like, I'm gonna bite this woman in half. Money. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty good.
I loved it. I remember I turned to you at one point and I like looked at you in the eyes and I was smiling and I was genuine when I said this, but I said I actually really like this, and I couldn't tell if you were annoyed by that or not.
Hmm?
I
No,
think
I
it
mean,
was during the fort
I was
scene.
just enjoying it. I mean,
It was during the fort scene I turned to you and I went, I actually do like this.
yeah. So the movie is not very scary to me, at least. There were some like jump scares in there, like they sprinkle in there because FNAF's known for jump scares, and I don't think any of them got me. Even if like they were kind of just random. Also, there's like no build up to it. It just happens
As
randomly, like a
yeah,
loud
jump scares
noise.
usually are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes jump scares are. There were some jump scares built up. You know,
The Foxy one.
like the random dude who sees like the cupcake in the fridge, like that kind of jump scare. But some jump scares were just like random.
Balloon
Like
Boy.
Mike would open a door and then there'd be like a balloon boy in there. Any of the balloon boy ones are actually just random. And I don't think any of those got me. I don't know why actually. Maybe I'm just not a
I was
jumpy
a stone
person.
wall.
I'm not a very jumpy person, but I could noticeably see when James like jumps in his seat
No,
because I could feel like I could
no.
see his whole body like tense up and like the seat would like move and stuff, and everyone in the theater would stop what they're doing and look at him. But yeah, Jay, I think you got by like every single one of those. I think. I don't think there was a jump scare that you didn't get at least a little bit jumpy with. So I think I did its job with there. But for me, it wasn't very scary, honestly. Yeah. But, you know, that didn't really take away my enjoyment of it. I was expecting it to be a bit more creepy than scary, something like unsettling, like how the FNAF 1 was more like. But I also didn't really get that feeling when I was watching the movie. Maybe it's because I was just so jaded by FNAF. Like I know what it is. I've already been, you know, creeped out about it. I don't have a fear of like animatronics or anything, so maybe you would get creeped out by the movie. But overall scare factor, not really there for me. Now, James, you still with me or James? I'll just continue anyway. Now, the overall plot of the movie, I think, is fine. I like the characters. They're kind of goofy. Not gonna lie, some of the characters are really goofy, and some of the things that happen in the movie are pretty goofy. But that's kind of what you expect with FNAF. So basically, our main character is Mike, played by Josh Hutcherson. I don't know his last name. I know it's something like that, but I think he does a pretty good job. He's basically like this cynical dude, very tired all the time, exhausted, traumatized dude who basically
No, he wasn't
doesn't get along with most people. Oh, were you here the whole time, James? Or
no,
okay.
I was here when you said you could visibly see me jump, and then I had to get up and leave for something.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm out of breath.
After that, I just talked about how scary the movie was, and now I'm in the plot.
Yeah, I was terrified.
Yeah. Were you scared by the movie, James?
I was shaking.
Scared, terrified, creeped out, maybe?
I turned to you and I went, zoinks, man.
A little tickled?
Man, we gotta get out of here.
Didn't feel a little creep in there, huh?
I felt a little, but I'm a creep.
I'm a weirdo.
What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I like Mike.
She.
The funny thing about Mike in the movie, the main character, is that nobody likes him.
Dude, everybody hates him.
Like literally everyone treats him like trash, except for his sister. Well, actually, his sister kind of does do that too.
But
in more of like
security guard friend was nice to him.
That's true. His security guard friend was pretty nice, but he was there for one scene and that's it.
Two.
Yeah, I guess you can include him in the second one where he shows up and just grabs him off the dude. So what happens is I was talking about how like goofy some of the characters are and goofy the events are. The first thing is that Mike is not a security guard at FNAF first. He's a security guard at a mall. Mall cop, played by Josh Hutcherson.
Hutcherson,
yes. So he what he does is he sees like he sees a man or he sees like a kid lost in the mall and he sees a guy come up, like a man come up and just grab the kid and move off somewhere. And he
he's like
thinks
kind
that
of like tugging him, and the kid's like kind of resisting against him.
yeah. And then he's like, oh, that kid's being kidnapped. So he runs after the dude, tackles him into the mall fountain, and it starts like wailing on this guy, like full range of motion, right
Fucking
hook swings.
Batman.
Yeah, just like knocking this guy's head in, right? And like the sound effect is crazy too because it's like full punches. But anyway,
That water was not slowing down his hits; they were amplifying it.
They were the force created by his fist was just making the water like move out of the way. He's just rippling the fountain
by the forces of water. He defies it.
Funny thing is, he gets called into career services or something, and then they talk about this incident for like 2 sentences, and then they move on to like something else. Like they don't give a fuck about that guy who got shit on.
Brought up and like being like held over his head throughout the movie. They constantly bring it up, and like the aunt constantly uses it against him. Like, ooh, you got anger problems, Mike? You got anger problems? Ooh, you beat that poor man. You beat that poor man in front of his son.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't think that ever gets brought up again. Maybe it gets brought up once in the scene right after, but after that, no, I don't remember the aunt ever saying that. I just remember the aunt saying stuff like, I don't like Mike and I want the payments from the government or something to take his sister in custody. And no, we can't kill him, so let's go rough his place up.
No, so Mike says, or no, I think Abby says that she doesn't like her aunt. Her aunt just wants to take like her money for being like adopting her.
Yeah.
And then the aunt in the school talking with the teacher and Mike.
Yeah, the scene right after that.
Mike, you're unstable. You're unstable. You beat that poor man in front of his son.
Yeah, but that's the scene like right after that.
It's not the scene right after. He has to go to the career place first.
The career place is where they talk about the guy being beaten. That's what the scene I was talking about.
It's the guy being beaten, then he's at the career place having to find a new job later on and everything, and then it's the school.
And then I say that in the career place, they talk about the guy getting beaten, and then they move on to the new job that the new job offer that Matthew Lillard gives to Josh Hutcherson.
Well, at first, it's not that he right after that and like moved on. It's that he's talking about all of his like problems working. And he's like, I can't find you work because you're so unstable. You know, you beat a guy, you're insubordinate and all this stuff. And then he sees his name and he like completely forgets it because he's like, that doesn't matter. You're a Schmidt.
Yeah, but he completely forgets it. But that's still right. He only talks about it for a couple sentences.
Yeah, because he doesn't care. He's a fucking psychopath, JD. Of course, he's like, I don't care anymore.
Why are you arguing me with this, James? I'm right.
Because you're like, the movie doesn't address it, and the movie constantly addresses it, but then it's like also
it addresses it once. The thing.
It does it. It addresses it multiple times, and you're saying it's only once because they bring it up at the career thing, but then they also bring it up at the school, and it's like loomed over his head. That
the scene right after they address it, yeah. But you're saying as if like the entire movie they're just like, Josh, you beat that poor man, but the guy never shows up again.
No,
and after
they say, Mike, you beat that poor man.
Sorry, my bad, Mike, you beat up that poor man, but the dude never shows up again.
Well, of course he doesn't.
They never talk about him again after those 2 scenes, which is right next to each other. It's the span like 5 minutes.
The whole movie is around the fact that he can only do this job because he can't work anywhere else because of doing those things.
I'm not talking about whether he can work anywhere else. I'm talking about this specific this poor man getting beaten right in front of his son.
It's the whole
James.
Movie. That man getting beat is a whole consequence of the movie. Yes, and it is, JD. He beats this man, and because of that, he literally can't do anything else but the security job. That incident is a counter effect of this whole fucking movie.
Yeah, that incident. Well, he says it's that incident combined with all the other facts, like the whole insubordination, can't find a job or anything.
Any other job because of that. That's a constant state. It's not like he can just quit Freddy's and go on. He has to keep working there because he's done this. It's not, and it's also, we see throughout the movie the reason why he did that, reminding us of why he did that.
Yeah, that's true. But they never talk about him again, even it's such a big incident. You know, the whole like, oh, you beat this guy who I don't actually, do we know his name? I don't think we know his name.
But we don't know his name, of course.
Yeah, so the whole reason why the movie happens is because he beat this guy up. they bring it up in 2 scenes, and then like nothing else happens. Like there's.
But you're acting
there's like no lawsuit or.
You're acting like there's no major consequence of this scene. Like,
no,
it's
I'm
just
saying
nothing.
No, Jay, I'm saying
it's not brought up. But JD, that's the point. It's a major consequence throughout the whole movie because of that. It's a thing that you.
I'm saying, James, that it's not brought up and it's a major consequence. It's not brought up and it's a major consequence of the movie.
It is brought up. It's brought up immediately as it happens, and they talk about it several times, and then it's made a consequence for the whole movie. It's not like it's just a forgotten thing. It has effect through the whole movie because of it.
I mean, I don't know what kind of crack you're smoking, James.
I don't know what you're smoking, James.
I don't know if you're not getting what I'm saying here, or if I'm not like I'm getting across what I'm trying to say. But
I'm saying that mouth, Josh.
I'm saying that this whole incident, the whole beating like this dude up and stuff, like the consequence is that Josh has to go, or sorry, Mike. It's not Michael, by the way. It's not. It's not Michael.
No, it's not Michael.
It's Mike, and it's a completely different guy. And he has to go.
That's what happens when you play a character.
And he has to go work at FNAF.
The character is Mike Schmidt. He is Josh Hutcherson. That's the actor.
Is his last name Schmidt?
I know these confuse you, JD. I know when you see Tom Holland, you're like, that's Spider-Man. And I have to go, no, that's an actor. And you're like, no, it's Spider-Man.
It's just easier to say it that way, James.
I know when you saw Tom Holland in the Dark Room movie, you were like, but Spider-Man's not gay. And I had to remind you, he's an actor. He's playing a different character.
Yeah, is Tom Holland gay?
No.
There you go, James.
I don't think you understand, JD. Tom Holland is the actor.
I don't know if you understand, JD, but I don't care if Tom Holland's gay. I'll make him gay.
Conservative parents when they see a gay person. Oh no.
Anyway. Yeah, so he has to go work at FNAF now. Mm-hmm. And I think it's in the scene that Matthew Lillard shows up, he shows up pretty early in the movie. Mm-hmm. He's like
he's a career counselor, Steve Raglan.
Yeah, and he's pretty he's pretty creepy, at first. I think he nails the William Afton vibe. So
he's William Afton?
Yes. I'm pretty sure that like everyone knew it before going into the movie. If you knew anything about the movie beforehand,
it was the first thing released is that he was William Afton. He couldn't stop talking about how he's William Afton.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "Why is he named Steve Raglan though?" And he's like, "I always come back."
It's like I always like, what do you mean?
Back. You're not William though.
And he's like.
Always.
He's like, why is your name Steven Raglan? He's like, double it, give it to the next guy. Thank you. And then
he's like, I don't often think about the Roman Empire.
Then we're introduced to the subplot that they have an aunt. Mike and his sister has an aunt. And Aunt she's I guess they just don't like her. I don't know if she's like an asshole or anything.
Bitch. An alcoholic.
She wants custody of Anna just so she could get Abby, so she could get payments of from the government, like child support payments.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she looked pretty well off to me. I don't know if it's like
but she's she wants it all.
Yeah, she just wants more. So sure, I guess. And the aunt's a bad person, I guess, because she's kind of an asshole.
She's mean.
She
doesn't care about the well-being of the kid.
I mean, she could care, maybe. I don't know.
But no, they make it very clear that she doesn't care, though, Jenny.
Yeah, when she says, "I don't care about the well-being of my nephew Anna."
Nephew Anna.
Yeah, nephew Anna. So
is that the fourth kid? The fourth closet?
Yeah, Annabelle. And then and so Josh has to get Josh has to get a job at FNAF.
Mm-hmm.
And and this whole scene, this whole like first act takes a while. I think maybe like 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we can get introduced to all the characters.
Did you bring up what the beginning of the movie was?
Like the small scene at the beginning?
Yeah, the security guard?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Would you like to know an interesting fact?
No. How about you read? Sorry, James, go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Fuck me, I get it.
So at the beginning then, there's a security guard at what?
No, it's okay. Keep going. I'll just bring it up after.
Okay. At the beginning, there's a security guard at FNAF, and he gets poo-pooed on, and that's about it. Yeah.
Fun fact: that was supposed to be Markiplier.
That was supposed to be Markiplier.
And because of the whole like him filming Iron Lung and stuff, and also I think filming in space with Markiplier as well.
Yeah.
He couldn't do that role.
Mm-hmm.
So it was given to another actor and everything.
I see.
But that was supposed to be Markiplier. The Corey Kenshin cameo, Matt Pat originally auditioned for it and was ended up giving the waiter cameo instead, and Corey got the taxi driver one.
Yeah, we should say that there's cameos in this movie.
Quite 3.
What?
Quite a 3.
Quite 3?
Quite 3.
What was the third one? I know there's
the board of cameos.
Oh, there's
all the pictures of the old employees who are just all the YouTubers in costumes.
Oh,
you can't really see it unless you look at the behind the scenes stuff.
I see. I did notice that one. So yeah, Matt Pat's in it.
The taxi driver in that one.
Matt Pat's in it, and Corey Kenshin's in it.
And apparently, Matt Pat's name tag says Ness, as in Sans is Ness.
Yeah, they just never let it go. That's just something.
No, Scott Cawthon literally had that special made and like had a shit-eating grin when he like gave it to Matt Pat and explained the joke to him. Because Matt Pat was like, "Oh, because Vanessa," and Scott's like, "No, because you thought Sans was Ness."
No, it's actually because of you. And he put his finger right in the middle of Matt Pat's forehead.
Yeah, it's like the gross images of like the finger pointing right at them.
Yeah. That's funny.
Fucking smiling friends. It was you, Charlie.
Yeah, so they're in this movie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that was it.
Okay, that's cool. Moving back into
I have other stuff. I just wanted to bring that up before I forgot.
Yeah, moving back into the plot. Then Mike has to get a job at a FNAF, so he goes in for his first night, and nothing really happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes back. More of the subplot. One thing I'll say about the movie is that I wasn't too interested in the in whatever happens outside of the pizzeria, and whatever happens outside of Mike and Janath,
Abby,
I guess.
Abby.
So, yeah, there's like a couple different things going on where Mike has like a babysitter, and she has a friend group that is in touch with the aunt, and they're like plotting against Mike, trying to paint him in a bad light.
The brother and sister are trying to get paid $1,000 so they can because the aunt wants them to fuck up Mike's life so that they can make him seem like he's irresponsible and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Max is there at the house to like find any dirt. They can't find any, so she's just monitoring him. And the aunt's like, "That's not good enough." And then the brother's like, "Well, what if we just kill him?" And
the brother, like, aka James, was like, "What if we just kill him?"
And then the lawyer, aka Scott Cawthon, goes, "I shouldn't be hearing this.
I shouldn't be hearing this." I love the lawyer guy, by the way. He might be my favorite character, actually.
I love the first.
It's because he constantly has this look on his face where he's like he's like fish-eyed, and then like his mouth is always hung open, and he's always has his hands on his briefcase in his lap.
He is not here in this moment. He is somewhere else eternally.
Yeah, and he always just looks like he doesn't want to be, or he just doesn't want to be there for anything, but he is always just there for some reason. Like his aunt has to have this conversation with the babysitter and her brother, with the lawyer there too.
He's got to be there to witness the crimes. Oh, yeah. My computer just turned off. Oh,
yeah, and they were talking in a diner, and Matt Pat's in the diner. He's a waiter, and he comes in. He has a few lines.
He's like, "That's just a theory."
He's like, "Did you know that pasteurized milk is bad for you? But that's just a theory." And they immediately like dismiss him. Everybody also hates MatPat
Aunt
in the
stands
movie.
up and stabs him in the gut several times.
Aunt stands up with like a fake laugh, like, and then just fucking
stabs him in the throat.
Pushes MatPat down, starts beating on him like how Mike did with the dude in the fountain at the beginning. That was a reoccurring bit I kept doing when we were watching the movie. Is that anytime someone is like rude to another person, I just like pretend like they would just start beating the shit or like start choking like the other person.
He kept lifting his hands up in a choking motion and like shaking them around at every character who came on screen.
Yeah, after the movie, you were like, JD, why do you keep doing this for all these women? Like, why do you want to choke out these women? I'm like,
I only noticed you doing it when the woman characters were on screen.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a lot of women characters in there. There's like
that's not the movie's fault, JD.
That is that is.
That's your
fault. The movie
chose
to have the woman in there.
No, JD, that's your fault for being a misogynist.
You know, if I put my hands up in a choking manner toward anyone on the screen who's being rude, and they just so happen to be mostly female characters, I mean, just how it is. I mean, come on, James. I'm not Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast is in hot water.
We can talk about that after, but so anyway, yeah, Mike comes back. Some stuff happens, and then he goes back to FNAF for like the second night, and that's where he meets our girl Vanny in the bunny costume.
No, Vanessa.
Yeah, Vanny in the bunny costume. She rocks up on him, and then she starts choking the hell out of Mike. They're beating them up too.
Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil 4 being possessed sort of style, grabbing Ada, just fucking choking her down.
No, so Vanessa's a cop. She shows up to Freddy's, and basically just tells shows Mike the ropes, I guess. Tells him some stuff about the pizzeria. Didn't you know there was kids missing? Well, what? How? Why would I know that? You're so stupid, Mike. How could you not know?
Look at that video I sent you.
The video?
The GIF.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just Leon Kennedy choking out Ada. Resident Evil, what, 4?
Yeah, the original. Dude, it's so funny still.
It's funny because he swings her around a bit too when he's choking her.
Fucking yanking her around, and he has like the fucking lawyer's fish eyes. Just fucking wide-eyed. Just whoa.
Like no emotion on his face.
No emotion at all. But no, yeah, Vanessa is like, have you met them? And he's like, who? And she's like, them. Showtime button. And then they start going like, I hear the secrets that you keep.
Yeah, she's like, check this out, and then presses the big red button on the wall, and then all the animatronics
explosion goes off.
All the animatronics show up and immediately start choking all of them out. They get into a choke fight. Yeah, they're getting a choke fight where Mike is like choking Freddy and Freddy's choking Mike. And then both Bonnie and Foxy are trying to choke Vanessa, and she has one hand on both of their necks each.
And Foxy's just like,
yeah. And then Chica's choking out the cupcake while the cupcake's going for her neck. So anyway.
And then William Afton's in the corner doing the Fortnite default dance.
I actually do like the design for Chica, where her cupcake also moves around, and it's like its own animatronic.
I love that it's become its own character rather than just being like a sort of prop for her. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah, it's like an actual thing, because I guess, they saw like the one jump scare animation that the cupcake has.
It does?
It does in... I forgot which game it was, but the cupcake does have a jump scare animation.
I'm going to assume Ultimate Custom Night, or is it like the custom version where like fans made their own version with all the animatronics?
Might be FNAF 4, actually. Maybe. I don't know.
The Dream one?
It's not Dream, James.
It's Dream Theory.
Dream Theory is also a big part of this, of Mike's character.
Scott said, fuck you all. Dream Theory's real.
Scott said, you motherfuckers, there's nothing wrong with Dream Theory.
You motherfucker, I'll kill you dead.
There's nothing wrong with Dream Theory. So Mike, the Dream Theory is that whatever you see in your memories, whatever you see is like recorded into your memories, your deep psyche, and you have to like dive into your own mind in order to find these memories and like dig them up so you can remember. And Mike's trying to remember who kidnapped his little brother when he was little. And they were at a picnic in the woods, and so and then William Afton just
in Nebraska
swooped up Garrett, Mike's little brother, and then just
the real name of the crying child.
Took him away. Yeah.
Garrett, the new official name for the crying child. Be gone, Evan.
So now Hello, Mike Garrett. Is like, Mike takes sleeping pills and tries to go to night and dream about this same memory over and over again to try and find out who it was. Which I don't think he ever does, actually.
No, he does. They do tell him, like, once he goes to like Freddy's for like the third night, they tell him. But it's like when he makes the offer of like, I'll give anything, that's when they show him it's Springtrap that did it. Because they draw the bunny just like how it's drawn in the picture.
I mean, they draw. Okay, so what happens is, like in one of the dreams, I think on the third night, the second or third night. Which, by the way, were there 5 nights?
Night is when Foxy gets him.
By the way, were there 5 nights? He shows up 5 nights in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because I think the 4th night is when he was. Let's see. Because I think the 4th night is when Abby gets hurt.
I see. And the 5th night is them. Is like Mike getting like attacked, and then he has to go back to save.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like it was either, I think it was the 3rd night where they show him the drawing of the bunny, but he doesn't know what it means because he doesn't know Springtrap.
Right.
So they don't tell him, but they just like show the drawing.
They do show him who did it. Like it looks just like the drawing in the picture and everything, but it's like,
yeah, but Mike doesn't. He doesn't. I don't think he saw the picture either. Like he just
walked in past it and we looked at it, the audience.
Yeah, so we know what it is, but I don't think Mike does.
I mean, they still told him. It's just,
well, Vanessa just tells him.
It's not their fault. He's too stupid.
On the 5th night, on the 5th night, Vanessa just tells him that it's her father. Yeah, and then Vanessa he sees like pulls out her gun, he sees the picture, and then he sees the picture of her holding Garrett's like airplane toy that he had when he was in the forest, and then Mike's like, "Oh my god, this
you
thing,
killed him!
You killed him!" and it starts choking her.
Ada Wong just starts shaking her out.
Yeah. Yeah. So second night, I think Mike gets like slashed in the arm.
Yeah, when he dreams again, he's dreaming of the kids, and he starts chasing Foxy, to be specific, because on the first night he chases I think Freddy or Golden Freddy. Which, by the way, I think it was Golden Freddy because that's the one in the brown shirt.
Well, there's only 5. There's 5 of them.
Right, but Freddy apparently is the one in the yellow and white, and Golden Freddy is the one in the brown, and it has yellow stripes, not white. But they look white because they're at a distance.
Who was the blonde-haired kid? The one he talks to most of the time?
That's Golden Freddy.
Oh, that's Golden Freddy? Okay.
Because when that one appears, the Golden Freddy animatronic appeared. But all the other kids belong to the other ones, because when that girl gets bitten in half, she's chasing the kid in the golden shirt. But when she finds Freddy, the hand of the kid in the golden shirt pops out to grab her.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't really remember all these small details.
I'm upset because of the whole fucking, like, this franchise being so specific about colors, and they use yellow on the brown character, but they use brown on the yellow character.
Got him.
It's like, I'll kill you. And also,
it's got you writhing in your seat.
We know why Matt Pat was right about that, because he had the script this entire time. So when he saw the trailers, he was like, oh, I know that character is supposed to be that, and that character is supposed to be that. So that's why I'm going to keep saying that's Freddy and Golden Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
That son of a bitch.
Well,
he knew.
I mean, he wasn't wrong, James.
No, he wasn't wrong, but it still makes no sense.
He wasn't wrong, but it still makes no sense.
It doesn't. Like, why would you make the brown character wear yellow and the yellow character wear brown? Hey.
I mean, because color doesn't matter, James.
Anyways, he chases Freddy in the first night. He falls down. He goes flying out of his chair. And the second night, he chases Foxy. Foxy turns around and cuts his arm, which cuts his arm in real life.
I'm not sure if it's like just like a ghost cutting him, or if it's the actual animatronic walked into the room and cut him.
I think it's the actual animatronics walking in the room and cutting him because they haven't been ordered to kill him yet.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, so he gets a cut on his arm. And that's when everything's like...
And then Vanessa's like, ooh, that looks bad.
Oof. Vanessa's like, Earth. You look all like, rougher wear there. Vanessa's like, money. Yeah, so that end of second night, Vanessa introduced. Then
third night, he meets the kids. He meets Golden Freddy, and he's like, you know who killed who took my brother, don't you? And he like nods his head, and he's like, can you tell me? He's like, if you give us something. Mike's like, I'll give you anything.
Hold on, was it the start of the third? Was it the start of the third day that the babysitter gang breaks into the place?
Yes.
Okay, so I think at the end of the second night, the babysitter's brother is like scoping out the place, and he sees Mike leave, and he's like, I'm about to pull a gamer move. So he calls up to his friends. One of them looks like James, and actually two of them look like James, and one of them doesn't look like James. And they walk into the building, get in through like the kitchen entrance. There's like a gate that leads into like the kitchen area.
Yeah.
And they go in through there, and they just start like trashing the place, like destroying things, toppling things over,
stealing all the quarters.
And then all the animatronics are like, I don't like that very much. So then,
I don't think so.
So one of the dudes gets jumped by Chica.
Would you like to... I have a fun fact about this one, JD. Would you like to know it?
Sure.
Other than the kid wearing a Midnight Motorist t-shirt, his character's name is Carl, and he's killed by the cupcake. Do you want to know what the fandom's name for the cupcake is?
Is there Coral?
It is. There's so many like fandom Easter eggs they put in this movie, and I love it.
I see. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me all about that because I'm not too.
I've got a list that I'm going through as we talk.
Yeah, I'm not too involved in the fandom. I like FNAF, but just haven't been in there. So
you like FNAF, you just don't like to associate with the toxicity of the fandom, and I can understand that.
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, so Carl,
I'll fucking kill you.
Carl gets jumped by the cupcake, and his face gets like mauled by it. And then this is the moment in the film when some kid in the back was like, "Was that the bite of '87?
Was that it? I thought it was
that was it.
Oh, that's why I was upset because like I was like
it didn't fit too well.
No, and it was also poorly delivered and everything. I thought he said that after she got bitten in half.
No, I said that after she got bitten in half. I turned to you and I said, "That was that the bite of '87?"
Those two up.
Yeah, because the kid said it once and I said it once, but I didn't say it like out loud. I just said it to you. So the cupcake jumps out and like it latches onto his face and starts like mawing his face, and that's when the kid stood up
and grinders in its mouth.
Yeah, and that's where the kid like shouted in the back, like, "Was that the bite of '87?" And they're like, silence.
Was that the bite of '87?
And then so that happened. That kid dies, and then like one of his friends, the one who's not the babysitter's brother, but the other guy who looks like James,
the old man.
Yeah, James looks through the gate. He's standing in like the lobby area.
Yeah, and he's looking through the gate into the kitchen.
And then he sees his friend getting like killed by Chica, and he starts running.
Looks over, and Chica like then turns and stares at him and narrows her eyes.
Yeah. And by the way, yes, the animatronics do have glowing red eyes in the movie. So it's not like a weird dream sequence or something. They just have red eyes.
I don't mind it. It didn't distract me. I thought it was. I think people lost their shit for no fucking reason when they saw it.
It's not as like prominent as it was in like the posters that it's in.
I mean,
it's like a slight red.
No, I feel like half the time we see them, they have the eyes. But I also feel like in some of the shots, because of the lighting, their eyes are kind of yellowish, and then because of some shots being darker, they'll have like fully red eyes.
Yeah. So he takes off.
People just lost their minds a bit.
He takes off running, and he runs into like the back part of the building into the closet, and the closet is where Bonnie is hiding. And it is basically ghosts. So they have like supernatural powers where they can lock doors, open doors, close doors, lock doors.
I mean, they are ghosts after all.
Yeah, they're ghosts. So
I also like
the dude gets locked in the closet.
I personally like to think that if anything externally happens that they don't physically do themselves, it's Golden Freddy affecting those things because he is like a spirit no matter what. He's not like an actual suit. He's just a decayed corpse inside of like that. The ghost is the suit and everything.
Yeah.
So I like to think that all this stuff like doors closing and like locking is him doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the dude gets trapped in the closet with Bonnie, and I guess Bonnie just pushes him down, starts beating him up just like Michael did.
Well, I assumed what Bonnie did was like just take his head and fucking smush it.
I assume what Bonnie did was wrap his paws around the dude's neck and then
shake him around a bit.
Which, by the way, I also did that motion in that scene too. It wasn't just yeah, I did to every single character. If there was just two of them in the scene and they didn't like each other, I would immediately do that motion. So yeah, he kills him.
Abby fought with Mike, and you turned to me and you started shaking your hands.
Yeah, so he dies in the closet, and then young brother, James. Younger James, like sees it on the camera, and then he goes to check it out, or he sees that he runs into the closet on the camera, so he goes to check it out, and the door opens, and he's got like a bloody handprint on the window of the door, and he's like,
Bonnie,
oh shit. Yeah, Bonnie steps out,
stares at him,
and then so he takes off running, and he goes back into the camera room, the security office, and then he sees on the camera that
Chica and Bonnie put the cupcake in the vent.
Yeah, Chica leans over, shows her full cake on the screen, and then puts the cupcake. The cupcake jumps into the vents, and the cupcake's coming for him. And then they go. I won't lie, the cupcake's kind of scary, James.
I like the scene of the cupcake smashing up against the grate as he was holding it. And it was just like sparks were flying because I was like, yeah, it has just a bunch of like grinders and gears in its fucking mouth. Just fucking trying to chomp away.
I just imagine in my mind someone in the audience being like, "You're gonna die to a cupcake," like the Deadpool way of saying it. It's like, "You're gonna die to a Zamboni."
You're gonna die to a Zamboni, yeah.
You're gonna die to a cupcake. But he doesn't die to the cupcake.
That'll be us when we do the commentary track.
He doesn't die to the cupcake. He leaves the security office and tries to go out the back door, which is like an exit door. It's right behind the security office door, but it's locked. So Foxy comes in and he's like dum 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 dum.
I loved all the Foxy scenes where he did the dum 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 dum.
Yeah, because he did that in FNAF.
I'm gonna assume that's always been like Scott doing those voices in the original game, so that was him doing an elongated version of it. Because in the older games, it was always dum dum dum, like just dum diddy dum dum. It wasn't like a long one like how it was in this movie. Because he did a different one each time.
Yeah, there's multiple ones. Multiple sound bites of it.
I also really like Foxy just running down the hallway and killing these people. I don't know why, but I like that we just see it.
Yeah, I mean, it happens multiple times. Yeah, it happens once in the beginning of the movie with the security guard. The first security guard who was supposed to be Markiplier. And then
what's up, everybody? It's me, Markiplier here.
Hello, everybody. It's dum 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 dum. Yeah, so he runs in and kills the babysitter, and then
by the way, Matt Pat's scene was the first thing filmed for the movie.
That was the first scene?
It was the very first thing that was filmed.
Ah, I see. Very nice. Is it because Matt Pat had like a tight schedule or something? Or?
No, it's just because that was the first thing they could do because they were still building the sets and costumes. So they were filming all the exterior stuff, like the kindergarten stuff.
Ah, the easier stuff
scenes
first.
And stuff.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And while they were doing that, they were building the restaurant and finishing the costumes. And Matt Pat like walked in, and the restaurant was like not even like painted. It was like barely like there was no furniture. It was like them just building the walls and the stages and stuff. And he's like, wow. And then like, and here's the animatronics, and he had like look through a sliver of a door to see like a halfway done like endoskeleton. He's like, wow.
Wow. So yeah, so younger James's sister, the babysitter, realizes she lost contact with them, so she goes to the pizzeria.
She's like, Keith, Coral, James.
Keith, Coral, James. And so she goes in through the same place they came in from, I think. And she gets led into the back by the ghost of Golden Freddy, the blonde kid.
No, regular Freddy.
Was it just regular Freddy?
Yeah, it was regular Freddy, because it's how I could tell is it's the regular Freddy is the one.
Oh, he's wearing the gold shirt, right?
Yeah.
So she gets led to the back by Freddy, and Freddy's just like standing in the animatronic Freddy.
He's just T-posing.
Yeah, he's just standing upright in the back room, and then she's like, "What is that?" And then Freddy's voice is like coming from the
the kid is like talking from inside
over
the
here,
suit.
come here.
He's like warmer. And
you know that part was kind of creepy. If I saw it in real life, I probably wouldn't go toward it. I probably wouldn't take a stool, get right in front of the animatronic, get up on the stool, and then put my face like
well, you're also
from it.
Like aware that these are killer animatronics and stuff. Like you know that.
Yeah, but if let's say we didn't know that, and there's an animatronic in the back room of an abandoned pizzeria, and you heard
if I saw an abandoned pizzeria, that the person that my employer wants me to find defamatory stuff for, and I see a kid running around this pizzeria, and I go back there and I see him inside a suit, I'm like, I can use this as evidence.
So you're saying you would be dumb and do this?
Yes, because I'd be like, cool, I can get this kid out of the suit and use him to testify that he's he's running around here all dangerous, like, despite the fact that this is supposed to be a secure place that my boss.
And you never question why there's just a kid here?
Exactly. Be like, oh, there are just kids running around? I thought this was supposed to be an abandoned place. This is not a place for kids. Oh, this is even more money on the pile. This is even more reason to get him fired.
Okay, James, keep justifying this. But anyway, at least a cool scene.
JD, I will, because you're the cynic and I have to be the optimist.
The Optimist Prime. So
the Optimist Prime. Jesus Christ. Cinetron.
So she gets up like right in front of this suit, like looks into the mouth, and I was expecting like the bite of 87 kind of thing, right? But it went a little bit past that. So what happens is like the ghost hand of the kid comes out of the mouth, grabs her, like brings her body like halfway into the suit, and then the suit just chomps her in half.
The hydraulics just kicking it, just
yeah, and it is pretty gory. Like it doesn't show the scene or like her body getting chomped in half. It shows the shadow the shadow of her body gets chomped in half, and then
But we do watch the blood splatter.
Yeah, and then her leg,
shadow.
her bottom half like falls down,
and we see that in camera. We do see the bottom half of the body.
Yeah, it was more gory than I thought. So, yes.
I do think people are unaware of how gory PG-13 can get.
Yeah, it was. I was expecting PG-13, like 0 blood, 0 gore, everything happens off screen kind of thing. But this was more of like an on-screen death than.
But also we do see the remnants of their bodies.
Yes,
after, and they are
pretty gory. There is blood in this movie, by the way. There's a lot of blood. Like when Mike's arm gets cut, he is like bleeding, and you actually see the cut. You actually see the cut on his arm too, which looks pretty nasty.
Huge gash, ton of blood pouring down his arm, and then later on when he's getting cut up by all the spirits, he's like covered in like cuts and blood.
Yeah, so that happens, and then Michael comes back for night 3 with with Abigail and
Abatha.
a Binthal, and and then this is where he finds out that all the animatronics are like nice toward her. They don't play with them just yet. That's on night 4.
No, they play with her on night 3.
like the whole fort building and like playing with Vanessa.
Well, yeah, that's the thing they do on night 4, but on night 3 they do play with her. They're like,
well, on night 3 they just like stand around her and like tickle her, and then Mike comes in right when he wakes up, and he just takes her and leaves.
Yeah, JD, I don't know how to tell you this, but like them interacting with her is literally playing.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, I meant playing as in more like the playing scene.
I get that you're a boomer and you're doing your whole back in my day playing meant this sort of thing.
No, I was referring to the scene where they
I get it,
play for an extended amount of time instead of them just introducing the fact.
I get what you're saying.
That Agartha is just friendly with these animatronics. Yeah, so
I understand what you're saying.
I don't think I really like the fact that the animatronics are good guys in this. I'm not sure.
I mean,
I'm not sure what to think about that.
They're definitely not good guys, JD. They're just
they try to paint them as the good guys, and they have like a couple scenes where they're like good guys, you know,
because they play with the kid.
Yes,
JD,
like the wholesome scenes of the thing.
I don't know how to tell you this, but they are children.
I know.
Like they've been stuck as children since the 1980s. They didn't age. Their minds didn't develop anymore. They're just straight up children still.
I mean, you tell me that, but the night before, you realize that these children just like murdered 3 people. Like horribly.
Yes, because those people came in and were destroying everything around them. They broke into their home.
And children would just do that, James. They're just maw their faces off, cut them in half.
They're also robots. They're also animatronics that are being constantly told to kill adults. Why would they kill the one kid that's like interacting with them and not like trying to fucking destroy their like home and shit?
I mean, I don't know, James. I get
that you don't understand, and I think that's insane that you don't understand.
I just
feels very simple.
It's just the was a contrast between like the night before and then this night that kind of just throws me off, because I wanted the movie to be kind of all dark and stuff, but it's not. So there are wholesome scenes in it where, you know, like Abigail and Vanessa and Mike are having fun with the animatronics and do all this fun stuff.
And then Vanessa's constantly telling Mike, "Hey, keep her away from them. That's not what you think."
I don't actually. At first, I think Vanessa says
that.
At first, she's like, "Yeah, just have her play with them." She's like playing with Abigail with the animatronics, and then after Abigail gets shot. Or no, not shot. I mean, like shocked by the guitar.
No, it's before that when they go to get the sheet. She's like she like goes with Mike and she like pulls him to the side and she like stops, like pretending to be like nice. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why do you have a kid here? Why'd you bring her here? Get her out of here!" Like doing all that stuff.
Was that there? I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I know you don't. That's the scene where they find the spring lock and she sticks the broom in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's when she like, because she's like smiling, she like sees that Abigail's there, and then she like looks at Mike and she like keeps like going like, "Yeah, you know, let's appease the spirits, let's let them be kids." And she pulls Mike to the side when he comes with her, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You bring her back, I'll shoot you," type shit. I mean, she says that after the fact when they're outside, but inside she is like, "Do not fucking bring her here. Why would you bring a kid here? Are you insane?" She like is dressing him down about it and stuff.
I'll just trust your word for it then, because I don't remember. I do remember they went to the back, and that's where they introduced the spring lock thing. And it's like, by the way, it's like a costume of Baby from the back.
Fun fact: apparently not Baby. That is Ella. It's based off one of the book characters.
Ah, I see. That kind of looks like Baby.
It kind of looks like Baby, and Ella kind of looks like Baby, but Ella is actually a toy doll animatronic, and I think if I remember correctly, she like replaces the limbs of the person who bought her and is like slowly replacing them with like animatronic parts or something. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, that's Ella.
Upgrading her.
I sent you pictures, but that's Ella.
Oh, did you?
Which is quite literally what the animatronic in the movie looked like.
Oh, I see. So it's just like a doll with the baby cheeks kind of thing.
Yeah,
I see. Okay. Yeah, we said it was Baby, but it didn't look exactly like Baby. So
I just assumed baby because I saw the cheeks and it like had the kind of reddish hair, so I just kind of assumed at the time. I'm not fully aware of Ella, so I didn't know about it at the time. But in this in the movie universe, they have a very large stock of spare suits, which I think is very interesting for when we want to talk about like what we think the lore of the movie universe is, because I have some theories and stuff.
Yeah.
But according to the movie universe,
it's
Ella
just
is
a
not
theory.
some. Apparently, they had him do that scene like a few times, and the first time they did it, they had him do it in like the way he does it in the YouTube videos.
And that's just a theory.
No, like Scott was like, I want you to do it in the big way you do it in the YouTube videos. And he's like, okay. And he's like, and that's just a theory. And he's like, I didn't like that. Can we please not use that?
Let's not do that.
Not that one.
Yeah, so the spring locks are dangerous. It like Vanessa like pokes a broom into the spring lock suit, and spring locks like clamp it and like chop the broom in half. So they're like, yeah, this thing is dangerous. Yeah, the girl gets shocked by the guitar that Bonnie has.
Bonnie's guitar, because when Bonnie hits the guitar, a giant spark goes off.
Yeah, and she walks up on the stage and she like strums the guitar, tries to strum the guitar, and then she gets blasted.
She blows up and dies.
Yeah, sure, her body like evaporates. But they take her and they leave, and Vanessa's like, "I'll shoot you if you ever come back here."
If you ever bring Abby back here.
And then yeah, they go back, and I think for night 5, Mike does not bring the girl back.
No, Mike's like, I have the only solution I could think of, and I thought it was going to be that he called his security guard friend or something. But then it shows that when Abby comes out, she sees Aunt Jane is there, and Abby takes it because she saw the legal papers earlier in the movie. She takes it as Mike is giving Abby away, but instead in the situation, it's just Mike having Abby be watched by Aunt Jane for the night. Yeah,
that's what it was.
So it was a misunderstanding. So she freaks out and is like yelling at him and is all angry and stuff.
But the objective is done. Abby, yes. He gets to go without her, so he goes.
So that way she's not in danger.
Goes into the office. He starts dreaming, and that's when they make the deal, where he's like, I'm kind of confused about this dream sequence.
It's basically replacing his nightmares of constantly and always seeing his brother get kidnapped. He's like, and you, instead of dreaming that every night, you can dream that your family is happy and together, and that everything is fine, and that nothing happened. And it's like basically just like, we can gaslight you every night into thinking everything is good. And he's like, yeah, whatever it takes. And they're like, we want Abigail. And he's like, yes.
Okay. Because I thought they were saying something like this dream could be real. Like, you can actually change the past, where you can just have your happy family be here, and all we want is Abigail in exchange for that.
No, that's what I thought as well. But then, like, when he was explaining it, Golden Freddy kid, he was like going on. And he's like, and you can have this dream every night. It can be real to you. You can have your family back every time you close your eyes, like that sort of thing.
If that's the case, then my God, Mike, you have the weakest mental.
He was desperate.
You trade your sister for just dreams of of what you want.
It's also he like immediately goes back on. He's like, wait, no, that's crazy. Wait, what? He's like, no, wait, hold on.
He does go back on it, yeah.
Like right away, like literally a moment after saying yes, like letting go of her. And when he says no, I want to
yeah, sure. And then he like touches his brother's face, and then he gets a flashback to like him like tucking his sister in for the night, and then he's like, oh shit, hold on, no.
He's been thinking about he's been thinking about his family of the past, and he can't he has not been thinking about like his family of the present, like who he still has and who he lost and whatnot. And so he's like immediately like, oh my God, I just fucked up. No. And then like Golden Freddy disappears, and Golden Freddy appears at the house, and he's like, hello, Aunt Jane. Hello, Aunt Jane. I'm Leon Kennedy, and you're Ada. Shake her around a little.
Yeah, Gold Freddy just kills the aunt in their house, but
in their house. It's so fucking funny.
It's funny because it happens off screen, and then when he cuts back to her, it's just her like body on the ground.
Yeah, and in the living room. Abby's like Abby's staring at the body, and like Golden Freddy's like, silly Aunt Jane. That alcoholic.
She was just tired, taking a nap.
All that alcohol she's been drinking. And Abby's like, sounds about right.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and then Mike in his dream is getting attacked by all the animatronics. So is this also like the animatronics come in and they stab him while he's like sleeping, and they drag him to the back room.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he wakes up in the chair where like there's a chair in the back room where they would like put a mask onto.
People have dubbed it the remnant extractor because it's supposed to be like remnant is something you gain from like immense fear in your last seconds before you die.
Man, they wouldn't gain remnant from anyone watching the FNAF movie, that's for sure.
I got it from watching the FNAF movie.
You got it in the few specific instances of Balloon Boy's
I jumped many times.
Balloon Boy's cameo in the movie.
I don't think I jumped at the end of the movie at the cameo.
No, that one was like a silly one.
But that's the actual fifth spirit is the Balloon Boy toy.
Balloon Boy. Yeah, so Mike's strapped in and he's ready to get his face like shredded up because the inside of this Freddy mask is like a bunch of gears spinning,
a bunch of fast blades and whatnot.
Yeah, and then it's like closing on his face. It's like a saw trap, but he like wiggles out of it. And then he finds
he pulls the screw out of one of the wrists so he can open it up, and then he stops the machine and slips out.
Yeah. And
then, he doesn't stop the machine. He just opens the releases and slips out.
Yeah, and then he sees all the corpses from the third night of when they got attacked.
One of the bodies is stuffed in a very specific animatronic body.
Yeah, James, do you want to explain what this is?
Oh yeah, Sparky the dog is canon.
Mm-hmm.
We did it, boys and girls, men and women, folk.
Now, if you're like me and you don't know who Sparky is, James?
Sparky was one of the oldest, probably urban legend type characters for the FNAF franchise that the fandom had like latched onto. The first game came out, and it was always like the first moment somebody found Golden Freddy. It was a search for who are the other hidden characters, who are the other secrets in the game. And somebody released an image on like some forum or something back then when it first came out of this edited image of the of a secret door. I think in the parts and services, the door to it was open just slightly, and you could see an animatronic head poking through, and it was very low res. But people were like, "Yeah, I got this random encounter, while playing the game and everything, and it's Sparky the dog." And then from there, people just started creating what they imagined Sparky the dog looked like because there were no other images. It was a hoax. Scott's like, this is not real.
I know this. This is not real. Wake up.
And
wake up.
And this was a continued thread of people creating Sparky the dog constantly. So anytime a new FNAF game came out, it would be, where's the new Sparky the dog appearance? In FNAF 2, it was the withered Sparky, which was a mixture of all the different withered animatronics into like one and everything. FNAF 3 had burned Sparky, I think, like one of the burned animatronics. He was one of them.
FNAF 4 had Dream Sparky.
Nightmare Sparky.
Dream Sparky.
People would recreate what they think Sparky looked like using like FNAF models and stuff. He was getting his own custom models made. He was just a very big part of the community. In fandom, he was very important to people who were there from like day one and stuff, and like the very big lore, like depth, like looking people. They liked him, and he's been referenced a few times in the books with multiple FNAF like robot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been referenced to them, and he's actually referenced another time in this movie, JD. Not just the suit, but the coffee diner restaurant, Sparky's Diner.
Ah.
I also didn't mention this earlier, but there is a Chica's Rainbow is on the soft serve ice cream place that Mike goes to in the mall.
Ah.
There's a ton of little things like that throughout the movie that I think are just fun. I didn't mention this earlier, but when Mike has to throw on the breaker at the beginning of the movie, you see on the mirror right beside it, like drawn with a finger, it says "It's me," and then in the next shot, it's disappeared and just returned to normal.
Oh, I see. Inconsistencies.
There's a lot of cool
movies.
Little things.
I mean, it's just.
Sorry, what did you say? I couldn't hear you. Speak up, bitch.
Anyway, so yeah, that's cool. Sparky's suit is in the back,
He's
along with all the corpses.
No, those are less consequential. I haven't had a chance yet, but I do want to rewatch the movie again so I can look at all those suits and see, because I know like there's some different like multicolor ones. On night 5, when they get Abby to the restaurant, Chica tries stuffing Abby into the Ella Springlock suit. So it makes me curious, like, are those other suits references to animatronics and stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
Perhaps.
You
should ask Scott Cawthon about that. So, yeah, he escapes and he tries to like escape the pizzeria, and he gets attacked by Foxy at the end of the hallway again, where he like makes it to the exit door that's next to the security office.
He's wailing on it, and he goes.
Foxy goes dum 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 dum, and then Foxy runs at him, and he goes, and then it cuts to I think then maybe it cuts to Abby doing something. I don't
I think that's when they get in the cab.
That was Corey Kenshin's like
Corey Kenshin's cameo, where he's like,
"Why do I get all the weirdos?
Where are you guys off to? It's me, Corey Santernil.
Where you guys going? Why do I get all the weirdos?"
We're doing a very bad impression. He does a good job in the movie.
Yeah, he's fine. Good taxi driver.
Then Abby goes to the restaurant, and Mike wakes up, and he's like, "What? What the fuck?" And Vanessa's like, "Hello, Mike. You've been injured. I have saved you."
Hello, Mike. You've made it to the 4th night. Like,
and
what? I thought this was the 5th one.
The darkest pit of hell.
Can you please tell the 2 technicians that are inside the office to please leave?
Just 2 hanging bodies. The light turning on.
Yeah, so then Vanessa gets a big exposition dump about the history of the place and how her father is actually William Afton. So I guess it's Vanessa Afton. In the movie universe.
Vanessa Schmidt.
Vanessa Afton, William Afton uses the suit, the spring trap suit, to lure kids into the back and kill them, and then stuff their bodies inside the suits. And he's also took your brother, and I don't think his brother is one of the animatronics. It's just a random kid that he's killed.
I have a theory about that, but we'll get into that.
Okay, we'll get into that later. So yeah, then he like dumps about it. Mike figures everything out, and he's like, "We got to go back," and because Abby is like in trouble. So then Vanessa's like, "I can't go with you because trauma." And then she gives him the keys to the car, the police car. And
well, no, she's like, I have too much loyalty. Like, my father has like a hold over me. Like I couldn't be of any help to you.
Sure. So that's what Mike says to her.
Yeah, that's what Mike says to her.
Yeah, Mike's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Vanessa put on a Matt Pat lore video about FNAF, and Mike's just staring at it in awe, like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, so he makes it to the pizzeria and gets in. He sees Abby getting taken to the back, so he does a bunch of nifty little tricks to electrocute the animatronics to fry their circuits for a second, I guess, stun them. And so he goes in the back, he saves, like in the back, Chica's like all of a sudden, she does like that thing I've been trying to do the entire movie, where like strangling her and basically, so she grabs Abby's like trying to shove him into the spring lock suit, I think. Yeah, and then Michael comes in, he's like, "Hey, is this guy bothering you?" And then he shoots like a taser at Chica.
I was really hoping that after we shot Chica, anytime we saw her next, she would just have the cockeye like how she kind of has in the game. Because that's what happens. Her like eyes go in 2 different directions because he shoots her in the eye.
Yeah.
But then like Mike, he's like escaping with Abby, and his leg gets bitten by the cupcake, and he has to fry the cupcake with the cattle prod, but it like grabs on, so it destroys the cattle prod, but while like discombobulating itself. Abby like runs, she's going for the door. Mikey's coming out.
Well, Abby's like hiding, and she's hiding from Foxy.
Oh yeah, Abby runs out, but she can't get out because Foxy's like stalking around. Then she's like, and she goes into the ball pit, and Foxy like stands over the ball pit. He's like, dum 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 dum. He's like doing a little dance and everything. He's like, there's a really cool scene there that I really like, is the transition where the kid is peering through Foxy's curtain, and as he steps back, Foxy like steps out.
Yeah,
I like that because it is sort of like the kids no longer kind of like having their own control and just doing what William wants them to do, sort of thing.
Yeah, like Fox, the ghost of Foxy, steps back into the curtain, then the animatronic Foxy steps out. Cool. Yeah. So are you tired, James? You good?
I have been up very early and very late.
I see.
I've been spending 5 nights at Freddy's.
I've been spending 5 nights at Freddy's. I don't know what the game is. I've never played the game. So yeah, Michael comes back out and he gets attacked by Springtrap.
Well, firstly, Springtrap like tiptoes out.
Yeah.
And Mike's like, what the fuck?
He gets jump scared by Springtrap. Yeah, then Springtrap just starts beating him up.
Fucking Springtrap, like a linebacker, just blitzes at him. It fucking throws him across the room. I loved it.
And the costume for Springtrap's actually pretty good.
It's so good.
Yeah, because it's actually a costume. Like, Matthew Lillard is in it. He's wearing the suit.
Spoiler!
Spoilers.
But
I always come back.
It's a really good reveal. Well, like they all are costumes except for Foxy because he's too like skinny to have a person inside of it.
Yeah,
but they've all been like costumes at some points. But like Matthew Lillard's is a costume all the time, and I love the detail that like you can see the undersuit, like the tan like kind of yellow undersuit that he has to wear, so it blends in with like the costume itself. I love that detail that you can just see.
There's like a layer of the undersuit layer, and I think the Springlock exoskeleton's above that, and then it's the outer layer of the suit, and the helmet looks pretty good too. It's got like glowing eyes.
It's so good.
I can't tell if he is he like looking out through the mouth of it or
no, because you can see I think he's looking out right under the eyes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because you can see that, like, in that shot where it's like him getting shot by the taser and then just kind of snatching it out of Mike's hand. You can see his mouth right behind the mouth.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So, William Afton does his show where he takes off his helmet. He's like, it's me. I always come back.
He picks up a huge fucking butcher knife and does the Scream knife wipe thing, which is a callback to Matthew Lillard and Scream, and the fact that his character specifically, Stu Macher, popularized that whole knife wipe thing. They like the reason they do it in all the movies is because Stu is the killer that did it in his movie.
Oh, is that why he did that weird thing with the knife?
Yeah, in the first Scream, while there were 2 killers, he was the one that was always in the Ghostface costume, according to the lore of the movie and stuff. So he was the one that did that knife wipe the first time. Technically, that was the stuntman on the day just doing that. But
now he gets to do it for real.
And he gets to do it for real. And then he just stabs Mike. No, he like starts taunting Mike, and he's like, "It's like symmetry. I killed your brother. Now I'll kill you."
Yes, symmetry.
I love that he's just a dickhead. He's just so stupid.
Yeah. He like goes completely unhinged. So yeah, and then Vanessa shows up and confronts William Afton. And she shoots him once. She does shoot him.
Are you crazy?
Are you crazy? And he does finally what I've been wanting like any character to do the entire movie, and he just wraps his hands around like Vanessa's neck and starts like running, like moving her around like in that.
Well, like he grabs her by the neck, like, and then stabs her.
Well, yeah, he pushes her back into into like the machine, and then he turns around, tries to do something. Vanessa like grabs at him, and he's like, "Oh fuck it!" So he turns back around, stabs her with the big ass knife.
And she's like, "Dad," and he's like, "Fortnite default dance."
Yeah, so she gets stabbed, and then Abby draws like a picture.
She tears down the old picture and she draws a new one of the fact that, because we learn that because these are kids, they're easily convinced that William Afton is their friend, which is why they've been killing people.
Stupid, and they
are
just believe William Afton.
I mean, there were children that were murdered, and he's like, "Here's all these pictures of me being your friend that you drew. You drew these, I swear.
I swear.
We're friends."
It's like, see, look at this symmetry, he says while pointing to the picture of them.
That's super uneven.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me.
This is why you have...
Because it implies that William Afton draws like a child.
Yeah. Hey, man, he's got that child style down, you know?
Fucking all scribbling. He's like, it's symmetry.
Symmetry.
I like the voice modulation because it does feel like it is supposed to like be projecting like a character's voice over his.
Yeah. He's not doing it quite right, so it's...
Because it's like an old beat up suit.
Yeah. It's like fucking... The suit's already like rotting. Falling apart.
I think it would be great if they couldn't get Markiplier for another cameo and they ever do a flashback scene, have it be Markiplier's voice for the suit voice.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. Abby's like, "Look at what he truly did to you," and he's like, "Whoa, wait, no.
And then all the animatronics just turn on him. And then they, I think they just ghostify his suit. I think they tamper with his suit. Is that what that is?
What happens is that
first the cupcake jumps out at him and tears like a hole in his stomach suit.
Tampers with the suit, which ruins like the integrity of it because there's just a giant hole over the spring lock.
Yeah, and so the spring lock activates and stabs into him like how it does. And it is kind of like we see it, like the blood.
There is blood.
He's like bleeding after it like stabs into him and stuff, and we're just seeing this man getting spring locked to death.
Just literally slowly being stabbed.
It happens it happens pretty.
8 knives.
It takes a while for him to get like fully spring locked too. He just like there's like 30 full seconds of him going like ooh ah and like getting.
Well, the thing is like we all forget there's spring locks throughout the entire suit.
Yeah.
Not just the body. So it's like all of it is like pressing him slowly. So it's like one spring lock at a time is going off. He's like
money. Ah
money. Ah!
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of people are like, that line was cringy when he does the "I always come back." Yeah. To me, him grabbing the head and pulling it on and saying "I always come back" is a way of him taunting them to like try it. Because to me, William Afton is a pathetic little piece of shit. But once he puts the suit on, he feels empowered. He feels like he can do whatever he wants. So grabbing the helmet and putting it back on as they're like all turning on him is like, to me, it's him going, I have the power still. I still have the power. Like going like that at them.
I am the video game boy. I'm the one who wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the video game boy.
Sure.
I want to be a yo-yo master. Make me a yo-yo master. And to me, that's what that scene was, because it was like the drawings were never depicting William himself. It was always the suit. So without the helmet, he's still William. But once he puts it on, he is Spring Bonnie. He is the yellow rabbit and everything.
He is the spring trap.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's a great. It ends with him getting like him in the back room, like still kind of alive and like shaking.
He a claw into him and starts dragging him.
Yeah, and then the whole place collapses.
Just fucking blows up.
Yeah, and then the gang, Mike and his gang, make it out alive. And then happily ever after.
Half alive.
Yeah, Mike is like really fucked up, by the way. Like
Mike is probably going to need like
he got like shredded shots. Tetanus shots, bunch of stitches. cuts Vanessa over, 20% of his body.
Physical therapy, Vanessa is just comatose.
Yeah, oh yeah, Vanessa is comatose.
Like, not even like when Mike grabs her hand, it's not even like a twitch. It's completely still.
Yeah. She's just like full. It might as well be a corpse on that hospital bed.
Abby's teacher's like, wow, Abby has never been better. And Mike's like, thank God.
Mike's like, why can't you be normal? Ooh. Thank God. So yeah, happily ever after.
Mm-hmm. Except
Corey Kenshin. He's asleep in his
because we see that in this restaurant, despite it all having fallen apart and destroyed itself, inside the back room, William Afton still twitches as the spring locks convulse and cause him to shake. And he reaches out his hand to a spirit, and the spirit shuts the door. And then Corey Kenshin's like, I'm not taking any more ride.
You get jump scared by a balloon boy. But Balloon Boy figurine, by the way, it's not like a full-size Balloon Boy. It's like a Balloon Boy action figure.
Is haunted by Garrett.
Yeah, it's Garrett's Balloon Boy. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, I'd probably give it a good 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty good.
9 out of 10 for me. I feel like that hit everything I wanted to. I felt like there could have been some other stuff, but like I do feel like overall I wasn't dissatisfied. It was a good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it.
I think it's definitely more for people who like more involved in the FNAF community, since I didn't get to see all of the Easter eggs and didn't really know what they meant. But overall, I still thought it was pretty good.
I saw a review of a guy who was not like he's like an older guy and he does this podcast with a few other people. It's called Double Toasted. He's like the older gentleman on it and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I thought this movie was dog shit. I am so confused. I don't know what the fuck is happening. And I think that's because this movie, and as it was stated by Jason Blum himself, the owner of Blumhouse, and like he was like always very adamant, like, I'm not making this movie for new people. I am making this purely for the fans. This is something for them. Mm-hmm. If you watch it and you don't like it and you've never seen FNAF before, that's fine. Because this isn't for you. This is for someone else.
I mean, it knows its target audience, and that's totally cool.
Mm-hmm. And I like that. I like that he was like, I didn't want to make this as like a, hey, here's an introduction to FNAF for new people. This is a movie for the fans.
This is a remember Sparky flashbacks to Sparky.
Neuron activated.
This is was that the bite of 87?
Dude, people. So firstly, outside of the movie, people are stealing all the standees at movie theaters.
Standees?
The cardboard cutouts.
Oh yeah.
People are stealing them. Like they're running up and like grabbing them and running FNAF off. Ones? It's an epidemic. Yes.
What the heck?
I don't know what it is, but I've seen like 8 videos of people running in, grabbing the standees, running out, and getting caught by cops and shit.
Like, I mean, it's just a devious lick. That's all it is.
Oh my god. I saw this one of these kids, like this group of 6 kids running with the standee to the parking lot, and like the security shows up and they all like stop running and they start like slow walking to their car while holding it. And it's like they know. They know it's you.
They know.
I saw this one that was like 3 frames a second. Like it was missing so many frames. It was like really choppy. But like the standee, in the blink of an eye, the standee is there and then it disappears. And you see for like 2 frames, a guy run up, grab it, and fucking charge out with it.
That's funny.
It's insane. It's becoming an epidemic. It's like the whole, when Space Jam 2 came out, everybody stole the LeBron James toy heads.
Man, that's hilarious. All right, well, that should be our review of the FNAF movie. It's good.
Now on to some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Is Balloon Boy possessed?
Maybe. I mean, his figurine does show up in the car randomly. Corey Kenshin's taxi.
I like to think that's just purely a joke.
Yeah, just
but in
a joke.
all the other things, I guess what I mean, because what I originally wrote is Balloon Boy is a toy only. Is Balloon Boy an actual animatronic, and this is a toy of it, or is it like just a toy? In the same sense that in FNAF 4, I think, all the toy animatronics are actual toys.
Maybe. I mean, if I had to guess, I think I'm leaning toward it's an actual animatronic and there's a toy version of it, and that's the figurine.
That's what I'm also thinking, because then that like brings into another thought. Did William Afton make Freddy's on his own? I mean, in this, Freddy's is William Afton's place.
Yeah.
But did somebody help him design the suits? And if so, does Fredbear's exist? Do like all these other locations exist before Freddy's? You know, like,
I mean, I don't know. They never talk about it.
They don't. That's what makes me wonder, because we do see the golden Freddy suit, but it's a spirit. It's not a physical actual suit. It's a spirit that's just kind of like roaming around. And another
ghost of a suit.
Is that kid actually Golden Freddy? Or is it the two spirits?
Or is it Corey Santranel?
Is it Gabba Gizmo?
I guess we'll find out next time on Game Theory. But that's just a theory. And if you guys enjoyed, you should like, subscribe. If you like James, you can find him in the description.
Is that the end of it? I have more stuff.
I mean, we're going 1 hour, 30 minutes, James.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I mean, if you got more stuff, you can write it down. You can do it next time.
I'll just say it right now, and then we'll end it.
Oh, is it? How long is it going to take?
It's quick stuff. It's quick stuff. It's not long.
All right, then just say it then.
Mike, Abby, and Garrett, their dad. A current theory is that their dad is Henry, and that he is not dead, but he's just like in a psych ward type thing. Mm-hmm. And that's why Garrett was targeted.
Yeah, I mean, Mike did say his father just couldn't handle it, so.
Mm-hmm. So we don't know if he like killed himself or something, and if he did, then that kind of lines up with how Henry dies in the books, where he builds an animatronic to kill himself.
Suicide by animatronic.
It's insane. He literally built an endoskeleton and gave it a knife, and its whole purpose is to kill him. And there's several moments in the comic where you just see it sitting behind him waiting.
What the heck?
A cabinet door opens. Yeah, this traumatizes the character Charlie, because a cabinet door opens and it's just sitting in the cabinet holding the knife.
My one purpose in life. Is that anything else?
Are the main 4 suits also spring locks? I don't think so. I think Ella is the only other sort of spring lock, and I think the reason why is because if the 4 main suits are spring locks, then they would think to look in those suits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
because then they could hold people.
I think it's known that the 4 suits are just animatronics. Like, they're not meant to be worn. Mm-hmm. They just have endoskeletons in them. And there are also some suits that are meant to be worn, and those are the spring-locked ones.
Oh, I'm getting called. Time to end it.
Oh, okay. That'll be it for me. You know, you like James's stuff's in the description. James, bring us out. Or don't, because he's on the call. So I guess I'm bringing us out. So, Transformers.